Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah, we got 'em, yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange Apollo, bingo bottle, never stop it. To the beast of Eastern Noto. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world.
What's up, everybody? This is Ted Karras with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cincy hat, and you're watching Bengals and Brews.
Yeah, hey, what's up, everybody? It's Monday. It's Bengals and Brews, and it's me and Dustin because who the fuck knows? Greg's sweeping up leaves with his dad, and Dale's got shit going on.
Dale's passed
Right,
out.
Dustin?
Dale already hit the rum.
I know. Like, surprised they're not here to celebrate this glorious Bengals spectacular that we saw yesterday. It was so great.
No, they decided to take the same approach that this entire season feels like.
Let me say this, though. That first few drives, minus that first drive with the defense, how are you feeling into that game?
You know, I liked how it seemed like the defense was just playing a lot more aggressive, you know, shooting gaps, Miles Murphy coming off the edge. It looks like they were getting downhill quicker. So I thought the plan and the fundamentals, at least in the first half, what we forced a punt on 3 straight possessions. I did have a feeling, however, coming out of the bye, our offense was flying high, and I think Pittsburgh has made some adjustments since the last time that we, you know, faced them. You know, they picked up Kyle Duggar. Hey, what a coincidence! You go out and pick up a player that the Bengals, us fans, that we could have probably easily got. I mean, the Patriots were trying to ship him, and then they moved Ramsey to safety, and I just kind of had a feeling like it would be like more of this type of game, low scoring. So it kind of went as expected. Now, defensively, you know, the linebacker and safety play, I really don't have an answer for that. I know Battle played an okay game, in coverage not so much, but it's just the middle of our defense is just a really huge problem, and it just continues to get exposed. Teams are finding ways to isolate linebackers and safeties on coverage. I think like we devalued the linebacker position over the years, right? It's just not a position that feels premium. But when you go and look at all the good defenses in the NFL, they have a stout linebacker core, you know, that can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like because we had good games from Murphy, Hill, Asai, TJ Slate, not much. I thought McKinley Jackson was active. It just kind of felt like that game yesterday was just kind of the tip of like what we've seen from the linebackers and safeties, and just put like a bow on it, just on how bad that unit's performed, you know?
Don't you think, though, I mean, going back to what you said about the linebackers, though, this draft, Al Golden, I felt like he went into that draft and he got his linebackers. Like, and then he got rid of Logan Wilson even. So,
yeah, it's
his pick, right?
It feels like that. It feels like he targeted some guys, he went after them. And then, you know, you're halfway through the season and you see these guys like really, really, really struggling. It just kind of like gives you bad feelings of like,
yeah,
we're back at the drawing board again in terms of like acquiring, you know, the linebacker positions. Obviously, we knew coming into the season that the safety was a huge issue. So don't really have an answer there. So like the core of your defense is just very like it's going to take a lot of resources and probably draft picks to kind of solve for that again. You know,
I feel like it's going to take a free agency. That's for sure. It's going to take a free agency where they're going to have to go out and have to spend in that second tier because they never hit that first tier and get lucky like they did when you know, the most recent free agency that I can think of is when we got our offensive line with Alex Kappa, Ted Karras. You know, that worked out pretty good for us. We got Trey Hendrickson, we got Chidobe Awuzie. You know, we need a free agency like that. I don't have a whole lot of faith in that happening here lately.
Yeah, it's the obviously, like, we probably want to talk about other things in our shows moving forward, because it's like we've already hammered on the head on the front office, and
We
I
can
don't
do
know
it
about you
again, though.
guys. It,
Fuck this
it
front
does
office.
it does feel like the organization is at a little bit of a tailspin, and I don't like, the whole saying bad things aren't as bad as you think they are, but then they're not as good as you think they are. They're always somewhere in between. It does feel like with this organization, there's kind of just like, and we probably see this in our own personal jobs, like, everybody that wants Taylor fired, you want to know who probably wants Zach Taylor fired? Zach Taylor. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
he
you
seems a
think?
little checked out to me as well,
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's frustrated because, like, look, I'm not saying Zach Taylor doesn't need to go, but I'm saying, like, more so than him, like, I feel like Duke Tobin, like, Zach Taylor, I feel a little bit bad for him. Like, I don't feel like he gets away with no punishment,
Yeah.
not a firing or whatever. But also, it's like Joe Goodberry's referenced, being the head coach for the Cincinnati Bengals, you got to realize that you're coming in here and you're going to have one hand tied behind your back because you run into that stumbling block called Duke Tobin, who is player personnel, and he's making the decisions on this draft. And the draft hasn't been good. It's a couple hits, mostly misses. It's hard.
Or the family and what they're willing to do with maneuvering money around, to get more free agents, or like feel like they do an all-in free agency. When you went to the Super Bowl, you would have hoped to seen that. And then you've missed the playoffs. Now going third straight year, you'd hope to see that, right? You'd hope to see them change things and be more aggressive. But yeah, we don't have to hammer on that. You guys were talking about the linebackers.
Yeah,
I mean, Barrett Carter, man. At what point? I guess you continue since you traded away Logan to get him the rest of the season, because I mean, Oren Burks, it's not like he's better. He was the second lowest graded guy.
Yeah.
Carter was the first lowest grade, and this is one that I feel like I could probably agree with PFF that those guys deserve to be down there near the bottom because they didn't look good. Carter cannot tackle out in space. He don't look like he covers that well, and he's supposed to be the athletic guy,
right?
And just not seeing. I thought Knight looked a little better. I didn't really see him down on the line. I feel like, okay, let's not put him on the line anymore. He don't owe you money. We beat you last time, Tyler. Simmer down in that chat.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Actually, we're dead even, bitch. So settle down. It's not over, and you got no quarterback.
Yeah. Mason Rudolph might be better than Aaron Rodgers.
He probably is. When he went in, I was like, man, I don't want Mason Rudolph in.
I didn't either. I was like, oh, he's going to pick us apart. Yeah, to your point, Dale, though, like, looking at the PFF grades, it was like, it just, like what you're talking when you hopped on is just like the core. You know how you talk about in baseball building like the middle of your defense, second base, shortstop, center field, like the middle of our defense just got awful, and the NFL, what they do a good job of, you could probably get away with that maybe in college, whatnot, because you have a ferocious pass rush or whatever. The NFL and the coordinators do such a great job of being able to isolate safeties and linebackers. I mean, how many times did they hit Gainwell out in the flat, right? And it just was like watching our linebackers try to cover the flats, a very helpless feeling. Carter,
they could have done it like 3 times as much too, Dustin. That's literally all they had to do, and they would have put up so many more points, is just throw out to Washington, Freiermuth, and the running backs out of the backfield.
Here you go. They hit Gainwell 29. They hit Gainwell enough for 29.5 points in my fantasy league. Help me beat fucking Greg.
And we had him in like so many 3rd and longs yesterday. That felt like a Lou year. Remember, like last year or two years in a row, it felt like we'd have teams in like 3rd and 15, and they'd always pick it up. There was a lot of, like, I think we had him in the 3rd and 17.
And like Washington picked it up on a 3rd and 17 on one, just like a little screen. They were just trying to get a little more yards, and it's like, no one wants to tackle him. Certainly not Geno Stone.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. Geno Stone's an Iowa guy. Those guys always are rugged, and play hard. It's just, I guess when you go to a guy and you make him take a pay cut, this is the effort you're going to get. Not to make excuses for him because he sucks, but
He sucks.
it's like, like how much he's like, well, you guys made me pretty much take a pay cut. I want a job, so I'm going to take it. And then he's just like, he's giving the effort probably of somebody that's taking a pay cut, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I guess to get some positive, and this is what I clipped up in one of the things I'm writing about, since I do some all 22, since I didn't the last time we played, we had a bye week, was just Miles Murphy, because by far his best game. And I mean, I thought that just watching it live, and then you rewatch it, and it's like, oh, it was even better than I thought. Honestly, I thought, well, he must have trailed off in this. No, we just weren't on defense too much because those 2 turnovers that led to touchdowns. And Murphy was still doing his job in the second half. So honestly, I know he had 2 penalties. One where he jumped off sides. That was a hard count that he bid on. That happens. And the other one, it's a little ticky-tacky, but on the all-22, it made it look a little worse on going low on Rodgers. So whatever, it is what it is. But I was just happy to see the man get pressure. Led the team in pressures with 6. He had led the team in run stops. He had 5 of those. So, I mean, just all around, by far, the best game of his 3 careers here in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
3 years here.
That's a very positive, and hopefully he can maintain that, because you do need to see some resemblance as you put together this roster next year on defense, especially. You got to have some core players that you can build around, so hopefully he can continue to develop, show the things that he did yesterday, build on that. Be a disruptor. That'd make me feel, okay, that's another piece that we can build around. But
yeah, it's just that's the type of stuff we're hoping to see, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Like, who's even worth keeping around? And with him, to your point, like, it's so important that he finishes the rest of this year strong, because they have to make a decision on his 5th-year option before the season starts. It's just like Dax Hill this past year, It's like, well, he's injured. And a lot of people are like, don't pick that up. I'm like, he got to pick it up. And honestly, Dax played pretty well again. And he's been one of our better defenders, not named DJ Turner. It's a good thing they picked that up. But I think, we've seen even less somehow from Miles Murphy to this point, but that was a good start. Now, if we can see more, then you have no hesitation to pick that 5th-year option up, You got him for next season and the following.
Yeah. And we saw the stats. It makes you feel good. The corner play, Turner Hill, like, finding good corners is tough. So, and again, just pulling positives out of this damn thing.
Yeah,
but,
hey, you know what I heard on the broadcast?
We know that.
On the broadcast, I heard that DJ Turner is the number 1 cornerback in the league right now for allowing receptions or whatever. Number 1.
He did, Will, but there was 5 guys on the ground on that play. Like, I clipped that one up too. And when I wrote about it today, I did talk about, that was a poor effort. Like, it wasn't a perfect game for Murphy, but I thought he more than made up for it with his effort the rest of the game. I mean, there were some plays where he was chasing dudes down the field and really putting the effort in. That one, maybe someone chewed his ass because after that you didn't see it. But yeah, it was. He did have that one on the long Warren run on the first drive.
Yeah. So, I mean, these are the things that we look for in this season, is like, who do we have? Who can we build around?
Who do we think can, get better even, or start to see an upward trajectory for, and Murphy, you're hoping is that, because you've seen nothing. So really to this point. Yeah.
That's where it's like, excited about it. Just hopefully he can continue to maintain that level of production. I mean, not every game he's going to like be freaking that disruptive, but like, you like to see it and continue to play well in the run game, hold the edge. I thought there were some few positives from McKinley Jackson.
That's another one.
Yeah, because I've always been a fan of his and his get off and the disruption he can cause. So like to see that too, so like as we go through this season, hopefully we can continue to see some things from him. That could be another piece, right? Like you had mentioned, I think BJ Hill had a pretty solid game.
He got put on his ass on that Warren run. I mean, but like I said, there's 5 guys on the ground on that one. Osai, and then you had like Carter and Knight, and I don't know, one of the safeties or corners just all falling into each other. Was just funny looking. But
Yeah, just the linebacker play, man. If you put this linebacker play on like good defenses, that defense would struggle because like you got to do a lot in the NFL to be a linebacker. You got to cover tight ends. You got to get out in the flat. You got to fill gaps. You got to be physical in the running game. Like if you don't have those, then you're watching the Eagles game last night and being able to just put the stymie down on the Lions, and it's just like that unit that they have is just it's so strong in the core with Cooper DeJean, Blankenship, both their linebackers. I mean, their interior players too. Until you can get to that point, your defense is going to be middling, So they got to come up with some solutions for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, we've talked about Jordan Battle having some really bad games and a lot of missed tackles, and he's, him, Knight, Carter, Stone, all those guys are up near the top of the league in missed tackles. So for the season as a whole, it hasn't been great. I'm not going to sit here and say that. But yesterday he's one of the higher graded PFF guys, and his tackling grade was 83.8. Obviously, he didn't miss a tackle to have a grade that high. Right. And he made one out in space and stuff that he had been kind of missing. So a better game from him. But once again, it's like I don't need the inconsistency. Like it's the NFL. We need to start seeing some consistency from these guys to see Battle. Are you going to be a piece, going forward? Because I think we all realize we need another safety regardless of Battle. It's just, do we need two?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Like, hopefully he can continue to show that. I think he's the last like 3 or 4 games, I think it's been mostly positive with Battle. So I like to see him coming on a little bit more. But at the same time, it's like that inconsistency. If he doesn't continue to show that throughout the year, then you're, like you just said, you're looking to replace both safety positions.
Yeah, and Josh Newton's the guy they were really high on, during camp and stuff, and he looked really bad. Again, like he looked like the Geno Stone effort for tackling. School of effort is what he goes to.
Yeah.
Because there just isn't. It's not an effort at all. And just flailing around, not even attempting to slow a guy down. And this is not good enough, and you can't be a piece if you can't tackle on the outside. I mean, you got to cover, but it's not like he's done that super well either. So
yeah, that's disappointing with him too. I was high. I thought that was a sneaky good pick. I was high on him, and a second-year player.
Yeah, he's likely to get a bigger opportunity now because Cam was in a walking boot after the game, and I know it's been very rough the last couple of years for Cam, but I mean, he was looking better here lately, and I thought, tackling wise and effort was certainly better in that aspect here lately. So, but now he's injured, so somebody else got to step up. So what else, Chop? You said over there being all quiet.
Man, I don't know, Dale. Just fucking numb, man. This was the game I wanted them to win. They didn't win. I'm just like trying to see the direction forward. I'm trying to get excited about Joe Burrow coming back. I'm doing a whole lot of trying here. I was excited to see the punting. Like, I'm not sure how many times they even punted last time that we played Pittsburgh, because it was a high-scoring game. They might not even punt it at all when they played here, and then we punted. So that was exciting. They got me, man. So Pittsburgh drove down the field and scored the first one, and then we scored, and then after that, like the defense stepped up, and I got excited, and right back to where we were. I'm just kind of numb. Like, ask me a question about the Bengals. Go ahead, ask me one.
Where are you guys at with Flacco? I mean, it's one of those things. He's injured. I mean, at what point? Like, he's 40 years old. He's a warrior. I love that guy. I respect him, but you could tell by his play yesterday. And my nephew was at the game. He said like the defense was just basically dropping everybody in coverage and just sitting on the short routes. We couldn't really push the ball down the field. So something's wrong there, man. And
he was hurt yesterday. His shoulders bother him. You could see him a couple times rubbing that shoulder, and so they were playing him hurt, which I agree is better than Jake Browning. But at some point yesterday, when it was bad, at one point I even said, I was out at Derek's watching the game with everybody, and I was even like, I don't even know why they got Joe in here. Like, if you're going to play him against the Patriots, give him rest on that shoulder some more, because I thought it was bothering him.
And there at the bottom, we'll scroll across here. you can check out the Chop
yeah.
Shop for all your Cincinnati sports gear.
I
Yeah, we
sold
got
it.
to scroll.
And it's got the link for you, Tony. So you can go to the Chop Shop 513.myshopify.com and you can get you Make the Bengals Great Again t-shirt.
I got
or that sweet Bengals and Brews hat.
Fire Duke Tobin one.
Yeah. The Fire Duke Tobin, that could pick up some steam there on your sales.
My favorite one that I just put up there was that UGG sign, that UGG emoji that I made into a Bengals symbol.
Yeah.
That kind of combined the two. Yeah.
And whatever
that
shirt
just
you get from the
describes
Chop
my
Shop,
mood. Huh?
you can wear. This is where I pretend to have a Midwest Best Barbecue
Oh,
bottle
yeah.
like Greg.
I have one.
You can wear whatever shirt you want and go to Midwest Best Barbecue and get you some delicious wings, some ribs, once a month on certain Saturdays, every third Saturday of the month, and mac and cheese every day.
You got to go follow them on Twitter and
That's right.
Facebook. Follow Midwest Best Barbecue, and you're going to see sometimes they got their brisket chili. They do that on the weekends. Sometimes they do the ribs on the weekends. Sometimes they do shrimp and grits on the weekends. So they regularly got these badass chicken wings. Swear to God, they got the fucking cheat code on chicken wings. If you really enjoy the chicken wings you have, do yourself a favor and never, ever fucking try Midwest Best, because you'll be like me. And you'll be like, fuck the other guys.
Yeah, you got to compare it, and nothing compares.
I'm not going to bring up their name, but fuck them. And then you're gonna leave them. You're like, fuck you guys. And from now on, you're gonna go to Midwest Best Barbecue, even though they're 40 minutes away, to get all your chicken wings, because they're so much fucking better than your last guys that you didn't.
Well,
think
they're 2 hours. Everything's 2 hours away from me.
2 hours. And then when you get there, you're gonna discover they got also brisket, pulled pork. They got some badass mac and cheese, corn muffins. They got all kinds of sides. They got ice cream, shakes. What the fuck are they doing up there, man? They're seriously.
Yeah. Well, and
crazy. The
Sunday
food
at the tailgate, we'll be having some of those wings and stuff. We'll be having some of those wings at the Project Game Day tailgate Sunday, Chop.
That's right. That's right.
I am
when we play,
maybe going to the game. We'll see.
What's
Depends if Marissa's wanting to go or not.
Okay.
So I haven't obviously
I hope
really talked to her
yesterday.
today.
We talked Derek and Sarah into going so you could come. I think.
I thought they were already going. I thought Derek had said for that one
his
that
tickets up for sale, and he was like, "Well, they didn't sell yet." And I'm like, "Well, I need you to come." And then so I think they're coming too. I hope I see you there, and I hope that you're fucking chowing on some Grippo wings that fucking Greg's gonna sneak over to you, because you guys get there at like 12:30, and he's
never there early,
delivering drugs to you.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else? I mean, with that game specifically, Rivers continues to grade out low on the offensive line. Zeus graded out with a 28 pass block grade. Rivers with a 16, but honestly, without me going back and watching it, I don't trust how they grade Jalen Rivers, because I've watched so many games. He's always graded out that low, and I'm like, it's nowhere close to that bad. You know what I mean? So whatever.
What was this?
16 pass blocking, 37 overall, like 48.3 run block. He is a better run blocker than pass protector, but I don't think he's that bad as a pass protector. Certainly not for that grade. Now, Zeus looks a little slow. We've talked about that quite a few times. Don't have to go over that again. Until you have a replacement in there, though, he's got a year left on his contract. He's our left tackle. I don't see anyone being the left tackle, even if you draft somebody, not to start the season next year. It kind of is what it is with Orlando there. You just hope he plays a little better.
Yeah, I thought our line was solid. We average over 5 yards a carry. I think Chase Brown almost hit the 100-yard mark.
He's looked good. He's looked like elusive lately, too.
Yeah. So offensive line wasn't why we lost that game. I thought Will brought up a good point in the chat here, saying that, looked like Flacco was probably a little more hesitant, maybe missing some guys too. So, not the best performance from him, but he's also injured.
Yeah, he just now threw a ball for the first time in like 2 weeks on Thursday before the game. So it's like, I mean, there's a lot going on there. Clearly, obviously not good enough. That pick six was terrible. He knows it. I mean,
yeah,
kind of is what it is. But yeah, with the line, I mean, Ted with an 80 pass block grade, Reisner had to come in because Rivers did get hurt and he was fine. And like Mims was, 59 for pass block, but then like Fairchild was a 72 pass block, a 50 run block, but he's at a 51. Like, just some of these grades don't even make sense. Right. You know what I mean? Fairchild is playing really good football. I can tell you that from watching him. That's a piece right there. I clipped out a few of his plays, like him driving guys in the run game, man. The leverage he's getting on people and the drive in his lower body was just phenomenal. And then his anchor, and to be able to recover and set his anchor against on that touchdown pass to T where he got face mask call even on Hayward. I thought Fairchild has been a great pick in the third round. So we can bitch about some of our picks that happened before that third one, but that's been a damn good pick for a third round pick. And he certainly seems like a piece of the future here for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I've been very impressed with him. His continued development, plays with really good technique and power, really good leverage. I mean, he's a really good damn offense lineman, man. I think he's going to be a guy that like is going to be around for a while, potential like Pro Bowler. I think he's got a really good ceiling and athleticism. Very impressed. I think Mims yesterday, there was a couple plays that TJ Watt got the best of him, but TJ Watt's one of the best pass rushers in the world. Maybe he's a little older and he hasn't been as disruptive this year, but had a nice spin move on him. But again, I think for the most part, our offensive line is not the reason that we lost the game. I just kind of felt like what they did in the secondary just really kind of like put the stammy on our wide receivers. It just like looked like we couldn't find any guys. Like, when they did some of the replays and maybe you saw some in the film, it just didn't look like too many guys were open with our receivers. They had nowhere else to go with the ball. That does point to another fact, like wide receiver number 3. We need to get a little more dynamic there because it's just you need guys to be able to step up when they're taking away T and taking away Jamar with those bracket coverages,
And it started out like it could have been a big Yoshi game, and then it's just like nothing after that. Because that's what it's like. All right, because Flacco, he's going to get the ball out quick, and especially he's got an injured shoulder. So when they're putting all these guys back and they're making sure they're trying to limit T and Jamar, you've got to eat over the middle. And that's where you do miss like a Mike Gesicki. But it's also where Yoshi, it just is what it is. He's not the most elusive. He's not going to create a ton of separation to be open quick over the middle like sometimes you need. When they're giving all this other attention and this guy's one-on-one, you want him just smoking people, like you would love to have like a Tez Johnson in the slot, because that guy is super.
Yoshi's doing well for a 6th round pick, and he's doing well for a 6th round pick. And so I think people started thinking he would do better than that, and that's what he's doing. He's doing a good job.
To be fair, he's done well for a 6th round pick, but now that he's in year 3, it's like you no longer talk. It's hard to talk about these guys as, hey, he's a 6th round pick. It's like you're a starter. You're a starter. You've been a starter. You know what I mean? Like you almost have to look at it that way instead of take the 6th. And I know you were just saying like,
right.
He was never meant to be some superstar. There's a reason he went in the 6th round. I get what you're saying.
You're right. But he's going to be your number 3. Then he needs to step it up to be the number 3. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like Drew Sample. He's not a 2nd round pick anymore. He's a guy who's been in the league for 10 years that had an 83 run block grade and a 75 pass block grade. He's just a decent blocking tight end. You know what I mean? That I can't be mad about. He was overdrafted in the 2nd round. I can't say that anymore, even though
it's Dale's favorite Bengal of all time.
I can't bring up how you passed on A.J. Brown for him. I can't even say that out loud anymore. Oh, I just did. Okay.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see the breakdown. It didn't seem like we got his under center as much yesterday. I know there was a few plays. There's one where Flacco was under center and it was just kind of a straight drop back. I think he went underneath to, I forget who it was, but he had T coming open on the slant about 10 yards down the field that he had enough separation. Like he could have, got a big gain there. So yeah, I just think there was opportunities on a few plays from that standpoint. But yeah, our offense just kind of, like when you look at the statistical breakdown of like, oh, we were able to go over 5 yards a carry, that usually means success, but we just couldn't, pick up first downs, keep the chain moving. I felt that the tempo we played with yesterday was horrible. I felt like once again, we were defaulting to getting the play off right before the play clock went down. There's nothing that I can't stand more than that because
all the time
rushers can tee off on that. And that's how Nick Herbig got the 1 sack or an Orlando Brown because we knew the play clock was going down and he was able to just time it. What do you want him to do? You know? So that was frustrating. Frustrating coaching game yesterday. I don't think that wasn't a good game for Zach at all. So,
you know, you talking about that play calling. There was at least 2 delay games, right? Was there more than 2?
Yeah.
Well, I know we had to use some timeouts, right? There was a delay a game or 2, plus we had to waste a timeout or 2 because of it.
So that was a big issue yesterday. There was a lot, like when we played the Steelers the first time, man, we were clicking. You know, the defense was shit, but we were clicking on the offense. This time we went out there, offense just couldn't do shit. And I'm not sure the whole thing was regulated by Joe Flacco's fucking right shoulder. You know, they couldn't get shit going.
They it's kind of interesting when they did play man and blitz, we made them pay. They just didn't do a lot of that yesterday. Like, and it's a quarterback's worst nightmare when it's just like they're able to get decent pressure with 4 and you got all these guys in coverage because your windows and your lanes to hit guys is so small. So Pittsburgh just played a lot of zone and just kind of like took away the quick, like middle throws. Like, you know, we were spamming Jamar on those like slant routes and crossing routes the first game, and they just completely took that away.
Well, it looks like it happened, boys. It looks like I had a shitty week here trying to look at the picks. I got to still tally it all up.
Did I gain some ground on you?
I think everybody probably gained ground based off the initial look. And looks to be my worst week by far.
Bragging, bitch. I'll make you my bitch.
Well, it had to happen at some point. I've been bragging for 3 weeks. I kept trying to jinx myself.
Here come the chop train.
Well, you guys talk about something else while I'm calculating.
Talk about something else. Go ahead, Dustin.
Oh, no, just I thought some of the game management stuff, like, just kind of.
Oh, I picked Jacksonville. What the hell? Now that one makes me feel a little better.
Where are you at with the Chargers, Dale? Like this, all this hardball hype. Like,
Justin, kind of like what happened. Herbert's my fantasy quarterback because Baker's been struggling, so I had Herbert.
Hey, why couldn't he fucking suck last week, Herbert?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, and then Baker
when I
goes
played
off
you
like,
fantasy,
I didn't watch that game. I just saw the final score. Like, what the hell happened? Did you watch any of it?
Herbert was getting destroyed.
I didn't see that game
down a bunch of linemen.
I was just looking through our fantasy league and I saw his points on your league and I was on your team and I was like, what the fuck happened in that game?
Yeah,
I thought, did he go out? Did he get hurt?
Their defense is kind of falling off a little bit too, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, like their defensive line from Jacksonville, like there was a play where Travis Etienne had a sweep and they were like 10 yards down the field, their defense line. So I don't know. Like the Chargers was like that after the first game of the season. Now they had some injuries, but after the first game of the season, darlings of the NFL, they don't even look like a good football team anymore. I know they got that win against Steelers last week, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Like, I kind of wanted the Steelers to come in off of a win, but that didn't happen. It's all good. I'm just kind of like waiting to see the end of the season, see how it goes. You know, it's going to be interesting to watch this whole controversy on Twitter because I like watching. I'm a people watcher. So even on Twitter, I can people watch kind of just by looking in the comments because this whole thing about when Joe Burrow's ready to come back is going to be very interesting on Twitter, whether he comes back or not. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of controversy back and forth on that.
Yeah, I mean, especially the national media will pick up on that story big time because that's the punching bag with the relationship between Burrow and the Bengals pre-draft, during his time here, injuries, stuff like that. They're definitely going to be all over that story big time.
Burrow is going to want to play.
Oh, he's going to play.
Yeah, and he's going to play. And I agree with it, to be honest, because I pay for a fucking ticket, right, to go down to those games and watch. And I did not buy that ticket.
Too. But you will next year too. And then
you're right. And guess who I'm paying to watch? It ain't Joe Flacco. Look, I appreciate Joe Flacco going out there and playing while Joe Burrow's hurt. But when he's healthy, it's his team.
Yeah.
If you're in the locker room and you're Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow's ready to go and they continue to put Joe Flacco out there, how do you feel about that?
Well, how do you feel if Jake Browning has to go out there for the rest of the season?
Yeah,
You're
That's what I'm
Jamar,
saying too. But like,
and you have incentives tied to your contract based
I
upon.
mean, to be honest, like I don't even care at this point. I'm so numb. Like they've got me numb. They've hurt me. I get like this.
I just don't like the kick the can down the road mentality because, like, oh, wait till next year. What makes it?
Yeah.
What does anybody think we're going to be any difference next year?
Well, this is what I've said, Dustin, is football is a violent contact sport. At what if you're going to hold Joe Burrow out? At what point do you quit holding him out? Preseason again, a couple games next season. You can't go into the game thinking he might get hurt. Let's hold him on the sideline.
Could get
Everybody
hurt
might
practice
get
next
hurt.
year before the games
It
even
can be
start.
practice. These guys get soft tissue injuries
get
in
it.
practice all the time. So you cannot go into a football game with not even 0.1% of you thinking this guy's going to get hurt if I put him out there. So you play your guys.
Yeah, if you're healthy enough to play, you got to play. I think, but I can
Joe Burrow's
understand.
not gonna
I can
fucking
understand people being like, "What's the point?" I get
And
it.
Burrow's not going to
I
hold
get
the
that too.
clipboard for Flacco. And who the fuck that pays for a ticket down there wants to see
But
that?
if we say not the point for Burrow, what's the point for Chase? What's the point
Yeah.
for T?
No, I agree.
Just
I
go
know.
on and on
Yes.
down the list, you know.
Now the one person who should probably set the rest of the season out is Trey Hendrickson because he was going to put off a surgery. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So you might as well go ahead and have your surgery because
Yeah.
you're scheduled to be a free agent too. So like,
Yep.
Yeah, I don't-
he was going to hold off the surgery for a potential playoff run. Well, you couldn't win, and he's not expected to play again this week, and then you're 3-8. Well, if he wants to wait one more week, when we're 3-8, I'd say, all right, that's it. Fuck it. I'm having the surgery. But I'd have it now if I was him. That's another week to get healthy once you have it.
What exactly is his injury again?
I think is it like a hip flexor type thing? I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't know because they ended up saying, remember, originally back, but then it kind of went to like hip and stuff. So I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody in the chat could tell us. I'll update the picks while we're kind of waiting
I
to
feel
see
like
if that
it's
pops
probably
in there.
I don't know. Trey wanted to play like even that
Sports,
game.
basically a sports hernia. Will says like I think they used a different name for it, but it's basically what
Yeah, that's a tough
used
one.
to be called.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think that Trey wants to come back in and probably get some sacks to add value to his end of the year? That's probably why he's putting off the surgery, right? I mean, because
I don't know.
at
I
the
think
trade
you could
deadline,
say
nobody was giving anything more than a third-day pick for him, like fourth round. They're talking like fourth round. So maybe he wants to get a sack, like come back and say, "Look, I'm a badass." And so when he does walk in the free agency, other teams want to pay him more.
He's not going to get the money he wants.
No.
It just
Well,
says-
and that's
Could've
what I
took
was.
what the Bengals offered. to be
That's what was
honest.
going through my head. Well, this is why a guy would request a trade because they're not giving him anywhere close to what he wants. But then it's also part of me is like, you should have just taken what they did offer. And we don't know the exact 100% what
Right.
was offered. And that's the thing. But like if they offered you close to 30 million and it was 3 years total this year and 2 more or whatever, you
yeah,
probably should have taken it
yeah,
and just been like, okay, because what if I get injured and then have a down season because I'm injured, which is exactly what's playing out now. Now I'm a year older, coming off an injury, not coming off 2 17.5 sack seasons. So that's why you want to take it. But it's also the reason that he wanted to cash in, trade me to someone that will pay me now. Like it's both sides of it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what's tough. That's the NFL because anybody can get injured at any time and hurt their value, especially as they get older and they're set to
Yeah.
become a free agent.
yeah.
I buy into the whole the number 30 in the NFL. I personally believe in the number 30. I think that you have outliers that are going to play past 30. They're going to play elite past 30. Like Andrew Whitworth is the example that we use here in Cincinnati because he went to LA and then he beat us in the damn Super Bowl and got a ring. Everybody does that. But like if you extend everybody that's over 30, if you just did that, like, you don't even care about that number, you're going to lose more often than you're going to win. So when Trey was asking, like, yeah, I wanted Trey too, but I also did feel that number 30 might come up. And who knows? I mean, he's hurt now. Who knows if it's to deal with how old he is or whatever, but he's hurt.
BJ Hill on the flip side, close to 30, and they signed him for 3 years. We thought they'd probably let him walk, and I don't think he's been worth his contract. I mean, he didn't have a terrible game yesterday. He was part of that sack with Murphy and stuff, but he had a good first game against Cleveland. There's a lot of games in between there where I couldn't tell you that BJ Hill did much of anything, you know?
Yeah, I don't. I see him and possibly TJ Slayton being cap casualties next year.
Yeah, I think the difference is that like the position that BJ Hill plays isn't like nobody's getting paid top other than passer pay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the position that Trey Hendrickson's playing, you got Myles Garrett making $40 million a year.
Yeah, and everyone got paid this offseason too. Like,
yeah,
you know,
your defensive tackles like that.
All the other guys.
Some defensive tackles are getting paid, but not like the edge rushers.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, picks. It wasn't as bad for me as I initially thought. That Jacksonville game saved me. So I went 8-5. Greg went 8-5, and you guys both went 9-4. So you guys both beat me this week.
That's right.
By one game. So that's gaining ground.
What I'm hearing is that
there's a lot of weeks left, guys.
Right. But this week in particular, you're my bitch.
And we all picked Dallas, so no one can gain a game tonight either way.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I feel good about that record because I did pick quite a few upsets, didn't I? If I can remember.
On this game,
quote unquote, just this week, I felt like I went out on a limb on a few of these.
Well, Greg's the only one who picked Chicago, so shout out for Greg. Chicago over Minnesota. I don't even know if you can call that an upset, to be fair. And I didn't ride with my Bears, and I probably should have. Chop's the only one that picked Seattle. We all picked the Rams. Me and you picked Jacksonville. I feel like even though they were at home, that was still an upset against the Chargers. So I feel like we both picked that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you and Chop picked Denver, and me and Greg picked Kansas City. Could you call that an upset? It was at Denver. We thought it'd be a close game.
Upset. I thought it was. I think Denver's a good team. They're coming up, you know.
This was probably your least upset pick week, looking at it, honestly.
Yeah, I guess maybe my definition of upset was a little like, because in my eyes, like, were a lot of people actually picking Denver, where they might have been favored in the game. I don't know what the spread was on that.
Yeah,
you know,
which is something we should probably start looking at. I just never have it in. I just print off the schedule and roll with it. But if we had that, we could always look at it too, like after the fact as well.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, I picked Detroit. You guys picked Philly. I'm sure Philly was probably favored being at home as well. I went with a lot of road guys here. I mean, you did go for one upset, you and Greg, Cincinnati. Well, that was a mistake. You should have listened to me and Chop and picked Pittsburgh. Fucking Cincinnati Bengals team.
It's all Greg's fault. Wasn't he not picking Cincinnati last year? And I guess
he was doing a tie.
It honestly doesn't matter. Like this defense, I mean, we could all be wearing the same underwear since after the Super Bowl, whatever.
I did wear my underwear. Matter of fact, thinking about it.
Same one you wore for the Super Bowl?
Dale, where are you at with Detroit? I know that's one of your adopted teams.
I didn't watch any football. I told you guys I was watching Pluribus in the 4-something window, and then I just I don't even remember what I watched after that. I think I watched something else, but I don't even remember. And then I just I'm not even watching football. The Bengals have just taken my joy. But honestly, the NFL product, we've talked about it. It's just not that good. Like, I'm not like, oh, man. And that's one that I probably should have been excited to watch. Like, Detroit and Philly. And I just don't give a shit. I watch so much football on Saturday and thoroughly enjoy it. And then the Bengals just completely break my will on Sundays. So
yeah, they do.
Kind of where we're at.
Well,
sometimes I go back.
Yeah,
and I'll watch some games I didn't get a chance to watch on Saturday and watch like the 13-minute highlight version of those just to get to make myself feel better about football in general.
Yeah.
Random games.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are kind of just hanging off of Campbell's, you know what, because he took over play calling.
Well, you called that. That's literally what you said on here was, that was 1 week and who they were playing. And we'll see. You didn't think it would translate, and it did.
Jared Goff looked terrible. They're a 6-4 team now. It just shows you how fast the wheels in the NFL
come
off, man.
The window could be so small, and Honestly, I think Frank Ragnow retiring at center right before the season really, really hurt those guys. He's a really good player.
Yeah, Ratledge has been banged up a lot too. I think he went out of the game yesterday again.
Man, good thing we didn't take that guy.
Fairchild's playing better than he is. You know,
let me tell you,
Fairchild, who said that he thought Fairchild be better than Ratledge?
This guy.
The draft expert.
I'm not
draft expert, pork chop.
I wouldn't have been like, draft expert, pork chop. I wouldn't have been upset with Ratledge, but I just thought that it was greater value to take Fairchild in the third than it was to take Ratledge in the second. And Fairchild's turning out okay, you know.
And then,
I would take an offensive lineman in like the third round almost every single year. Like,
what would you?
Sometimes there's pressing needs, but like the year we took McKinley Jackson and Jermaine Burton, I know it's an easy example, but again, to take an offensive lineman, whether it's a tackle or a guard, and even at the time, if you think it's just depth for that season, I would take one in the third round almost all the time.
Yeah.
What would you do this year, 2026? Because who's the guy that Utah is the left tackle? Is his name Fano? Fano?
He's the right tackle.
Yeah.
Caleb Lomu is the left tackle there. And he's a redshirt sophomore. Fano, they're both the same recruited class. Fano played as a freshman. He actually played left tackle as a freshman when Lomu redshirted. Then Lomu started and came in last year's redshirt freshman. Fano kicked over his second year playing right tackle. Both of them could be first-round picks. I love Fano because of the way he moves. Like, he just moves. When you got that kind of athleticism, and he's a finisher, and he's a dog in the run game. Now, is there stuff to clean up as a pass protector? 100%. He's not.
Is he your best?
The other guy's a better pass protector. He's my best right tackle, Fano.
No,
Lomu.
Lomu.
No, I actually so my second best tackle is also right tackle. That's Francis Malinois from Miami, Florida. And then my third is actually Gooseby. I'm sticking with Gooseby because, man, there's, once again, athletic freak, 6'7", got the length, got all those traits.
But these are all right tackles.
He may go back. No, Gooseby's the left tackle. My top left tackle is Gooseby.
What round?
Lomu's like right there. I would take him in the first, but like consensus boards have him as like a third round player right now.
You pick him in the first if we were top 10 pick?
Not in the top 10. Top 20, probably. If we were picking 15 to 20, I would.
I was just arguing with Greg, yesterday, but probably why he didn't come on the show because he didn't want to face me on it. But no, that I just feel like at this point that our first pick next year should be just like the best left tackle that's on the board.
Well, that's my concern is we're so focused on rebuilding the defense. You can't just like let your offense not get draft picks.
Exactly.
Like you gotta, like if Kenya Sadiq falls to us, like I'm taking that guy. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Well, like what do you mean? In like the second, because right now we're projected to pick 9th or something.
So for me and the one other person in the Brew Crew that doesn't know that guy, who the fuck are you talking about?
Tight end for Oregon.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You would take him in the first round?
No, if it was like later back of the first half, though. But isn't that pretty pathetic that we only have 3 wins, but we're only 9th in the draft?
Yeah. It's some ugly football.
I'm just saying, like, as far as my thing with the left tackle, though, you get that guy in here. We got 2 centers that are behind Ted Karras with Matt Lee and Seth McLaughlin. And
but they didn't even call McLaughlin up.
A young offensive line in here that can develop together. Like Dave Lapham's always saying, 5 fingers make a fist. So you get these young guys in here to develop. You got a chance to have a really good offensive line going forward.
And I don't mind doubling down on your strengths because at some point, like you can't solve for everything on your roster. You're always going to have a dark spot. So if you can go in and say like, we could take a left tackle that drives us into like a top 5 line, I'm all for it. And a left tackle is a premium position in today's NFL.
I don't think this is the year to do it. I'm not opposed to taking one if a guy falls in the second or third. I think the premise is not wrong. I just don't think this is the year because I definitely like Mims at right tackle.
Sure.
So for that reason, and like I said, Gooseby, but he's still a guy that needs some seasoning. We'll see how the rest of the year plays out for him.
Well, that's what
and
I'm
if he
saying.
even declares, he might not declare. This is his first year as the full-time starter. He played
It's
here
your
and
draft
there.
guide, Dale, that I'm looking at, that I'm thinking, like, I look at like the top guy that we all talk about, Peter Wood, right? But then when I look at your draft guide, it looks like to me he needs development.
He doesn't need development. You just wish you saw more sack production, more dominance for me. But I think he's by far like the guy to get if you're wanting to get somebody with some juice at pass rusher. Yeah, I think he's worthy if we're at 9. And I think it would be a tough discussion, but not a terrible problem to have if you got like him and Caleb Downs and they pick one of them. My guess, they would just skip them both and pick someone that we don't want. But
yeah, I mean, if you are picking in the top 10, you definitely need an immediate impact player. If you're drafting past 15, there is probably room for like any player you take is going to be a little bit of a development project.
Yeah.
Because like we talk about Malachi Starks, he's just now coming on.
Sure.
Like it took him almost half the season. Walter Nolan, I don't even think he's registered a stat in the last 2 games, and he's gotten 56% of the snap share. So like, what were we going to get from him too? Like, that's why, like, we're drafting top 10. Like, we need a guy. Like, that's the guys that you need to make an immediate impact right away.
Yeah, and I do think Woods would. Like,
yeah,
and he had 3 sacks last year, and he's got a couple this year or whatever. He's an impact guy, and he has a high pressure rate. He played on the edge a lot last year at Clemson. Now he's back playing the interior more this season. But he's got, he's good at stopping the run too, because you want a guy that can do both if you're taking him there. So I do think he's worthy of a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
But I think Caleb Downs would change a lot on this defense, and it's
Bengals
just play on the field. But taking a safety in the top 10 it's rich. It's just historically it is.
Yeah.
But he's such a leader too, and so detail oriented. I think he would get a coach on the field, and I think that's important. Like a guy that can get guys in the right spot, that can get these linebackers that are still young. He would probably come in, even though he would be a rookie, and be able to get them lined up in their second year.
Yeah. I know it is kind of crazy. We promote the fact that we take all these high character guys and they're giving no effort or showing no leadership. It's like, good God, we're not even good at taking the things that we base players upon, right? It's just kind of wild. But yeah, Caleb, he's a difference maker. I don't care what position he would be playing.
Yeah,
right. He just happens to be a safety, but that's just like a guy that you would, that's just going to come in and change your defense. Like,
but he's not just a safety. Like he plays a little slot corner. He plays a little basically as an extra linebacker. Like it's all things that we still could use, and he is so versatile, and that's why everyone's so high on him. So I get it, but I'm not just fixated on him, and I don't think that's something with our fan base. We get so fixated on a guy,
That's true.
It's like you can't always get that one guy.
I got to tell you though,
my thing is don't take the 1 or 2 guys that we don't want you to take.
Hey, there you go. Get the consensus on the ones we don't want you to take.
God, I mean, is there a more disastrous rookie year? I can't think of one. I mean, obviously Burrow's knee got busted out, but he was like, as far as like performance and injuries than Shamar Stewart, like I'm trying to remember. Maybe Cedric Ogbuehi. Like, is he one of our worst picks?
That's who I used to compare him to yesterday. I swear to God, to Santori's dad, I was comparing him to Cedric Ogbuehi.
I mean, to be fair, there was a long time where it was like every year our first round picks were getting hurt or not playing, not seeing the field at all. So I don't know. I mean, but yeah, I'm sure he's up there, like one tackle or whatever for the season.
I'm going to buy one of your draft guides again this year, Dale, for Duke Tobin. You got to send him another one this year. See, maybe he'll pick it up this year. The money goes to the charity. I did that last year.
I'm hoping Jerry Montgomery follows me now. He didn't follow me during the draft last year, the D-line coach. If he's still here, maybe he'll see the one guy I don't want and be like, okay, no, I seen that. We shouldn't take that.
Hey, speaking of your draft guide, man, did you see my boy on Saturday?
Perkins.
Yeah, boy, that fucker lit it up on
But
Saturday, didn't
he
he?
should play. He should play Arkansas every game because that's
Yes, he should. You're right.
He
Well-
always terrorizes Arkansas.
And what he's good at, Taylor Green is a big time runner. Him spying the quarterback. That's why
Yeah.
he looked good in week 1. Like when his role is to spy a quarterback, that's where he's best at because he's got the speed and athleticism to chase him down and make plays. It's just have him as like a true off-ball linebacker. He doesn't always read things, so good, and then he's not always in the right position. And we have enough of that part. But it's like if you could get him in the 3rd round and just be like,
well, he's a good.
we're going to use you twice a year against Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
If you could just use him.
Well, no,
him.
you could use him against fucking. I mean, yeah, in our division, but at the same time, you can use him against like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. You got all these. The league's going to a lot.
Yeah,
of
if you were ever good enough to be trying to compete in the playoffs in a Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts.
I agree.
Jake
He
Daniels.
is not going to be a first-round prospect.
No, of
Maybe
course
a
not.
3rd round, right?
That's where you need to find the balance in our division because it's so big and physical that you need guys that can hold up in the run game for sure. But then you do play those higher end teams with great quarterbacks like the Allens, and I don't know, Mahomes is not playing that good. His last 2 games have been really, really some of the worst play I've seen him play in his career. But nonetheless, like those high end teams, that's when you need a guy like those types of dudes like Harold Perkins. So, just utilize them correctly, right? Like that's the big thing with like players and bringing them in. Like like I said before, like, yeah, is there a certain element to development of players? Yes, there is. But I think we overrate that a little bit. I think it's more about utilizing players in the right scheme, the right fit.
Yeah, you have to see what they do good, right? If it's the coach's job to see what this play. Like Al Golden came in and already had the players. He didn't pick his team. He picked a few of them in the draft, maybe. But you got to see what each guy does special, and then try to capitalize on that. And I don't think that's been happening.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really liking Bear Alexander, and I shouldn't be liking this guy as much as I am because he has every red flag that Jermaine Burton had when it comes to transferred like 3-4 times in high school, transferred 3 times in college. And it's like, oh man. And does he love football type stuff? But this year at Oregon, it's like the lights have come on. And the dude is just dominant as a run stuffer. And he had 32 pressures at USC in 2023. And I'm just like, man, how high I'm going to end up being on this guy, I don't know. If I'm a team, obviously I'm not a team that should be doing my due diligence on all that other stuff. You know what I mean? Just watching his play on the field this year, though, I'm like, holy shit, man, that guy's a good football player.
Yeah.
Difference maker.
Well, you're high on Mike Green, and Mike Green did the transfer, high school and college. He had to transfer because of issues off the field. And you were still high on Mike Green?
Yeah.
Trying to learn my lessons here, Chop.
Yeah.
Well,
But also, I'm still cautious. I was never that high on – it's something when you transfer, 4 high schools in 4 years type stuff. That it bothers me just almost as much as the college stuff because at least college, it's like, well, it's basically a new job, a promotion, higher payday with NIL now.
Yeah. Well, I thought he played a pretty decent for USC last year, though.
Well, he quit after 3 or 4 games, and I don't love that either.
Yeah, up to that
2023, he played really well for USC.
Was it 23? Okay, I'm mixing up
Yeah.
the years. Yeah, I forgot he just kind of walked away. But yeah, I mean, maybe it was a maturity. You never know, what these kids got themselves surrounded by these days.
And my guy Lee Hunter got some love finally today from Reed that works for ESPN and does draft stuff. I was like, finally, someone else is talking about Lee Hunter. I've been talking about this guy since the summer. And he's one of the guys we talked about with the win rate above 17 and the stop rate around over 9.5. Lee Hunter's been fitting that, and he's playing even better here the last couple of weeks. So those numbers have probably went up since the last time I looked, if we're being honest. And it's nice to see him get some love because I'm a big Lee Hunter fan too. It's not a great D tackle class though.
His get off is amazing. Dale, this is what I need you to do. I need you to write all these players down, put the pass rush win rate where the Bengals walk in, the gates there. I need you to put that somewhere. Or
No,
tape.
they need those charts that I do, or the Gridiron Grading does similar stuff, but I started charting some things too, just because I'm like, that fascinates me, and it just puts it out there for anybody that don't want to take all the time. You put it on an Excel chart, and it's like, look for the people in the top right, that good on these charts, that good. Top right, Bengal, that good.
Yes.
So do you know in the movie Golden Child, or not Golden Child, Coming to America, where the rose petals get pushed out? I need you dropping, or you Chop, or one of you guys that are down there, dropping these papers and just littering the sidewalks with it. So somebody in that scouting department picks one up and looks at it. You know what I mean?
That's a hard shot because there's only 4 of them fuckers.
Well, at least we'll try. Or I need somebody to drop a pin. Somebody knows where Duke Tobin lives. Not for anything bad.
Yeah. Let's not. Yeah, let's
right.
go. We're taking that back. Rewind that. And
yeah. But little notes in his mailbox, like, hey,
Post-it notes on his windshield every day. Like underneath his windshield wiper, a little note every day.
Oh yeah, they're better.
Instead of like the draft day movie or whatever, instead of like this guy at all costs, the note just says like Shamar Stewart at all costs, do not draft. Like,
Right.
Do not
at no cost.
At no cost.
At no cost.
Do not do it.
Right.
So I don't.
Yeah. Are we just labeling Burton an illness now? Is that what's going on? Like,
Lord knows.
God
It's so wild. I don't even want to know. I'm just more annoyed, I think, like that we took 2 linebackers and maybe, but not even if he's like, oh, he's getting better. He's 26 or whatever already, like he's going to be 26. So it's like, and then Carter, I mean, 4th round, but it's like, I don't want to not take really good players at linebacker over these next 2 drafts because we missed on taking a lot worse players.
Exactly.
These linebacker classes are going to be stacked. Now, whoever decides to come out this year and go back, it's going to be stacked no matter who comes out because just the seniors alone will have this linebacker class pretty stacked. And same next year. Like, it already looks stacked. Like, these next 2 years at linebacker are going to be some of the best linebacker classes. Same thing with safety. So I'm going to be so pissed if we don't invest in those positions when they're good positions. We've done it lately where we didn't invest properly in the D tackles when they were good D tackle classes. And it kind of bites you in. You still take a guy, but it's like, no, that's not what you should have done. You should have invested higher. You should have done, it's just, you waited too long and you take the complete leftover, but it's still a premium pick.
Yeah.
So I just hope that we're like, F it. Let's just say Sonny Styles is here in the early 2nd round. I'm taking him. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like he's fringe 1st round talent, but we're picking high in the 2nd. He's there. That guy's a freak. I'm taking him. The other Ohio State linebacker besides Arvell Reese.
Oh.
And he had
Arvell
6.5.
Reese is Ohio, right?
Yeah. And Styles, they're both Ohio State, but Styles, so last year, over 100 some tackles, 6.5 sacks. But this year he's playing a lot better in coverage. They're not asking him to rush the passer, but he showed he could do that last year. It's just they're having Reese do more of that this year. But he's a converted safety. So he's like 6'4", probably pushing 250, but it does, not in a bad way. He's just a freak. He might even be 6'5", 6'5", 250 type guy. Who knows what his measurables will be. But I mean, a guy that can cover, a guy that can rush the passer, an athletic guy, a sideline to sideline range, like Sonny Styles, if he was there in a 2nd, just because, or CJ Allen from Georgia, not to be a homer the whole time, but does just have a lot of good players. CJ Allen's that type of guy. I think they're both worthy of late 1st round picks. But if somebody falls to the 2nd, I would nab them. And then obviously, my guy Red Murdoch's there, let's say in the 3rd. Give me that nasty motherfucker from Buffalo that can knock. I almost said Perfect Delo because he is Perfect 2.0. And 17 forced fumbles, NCAA record. That's what this guy has. I want him.
Yeah.
I want a good linebacker. You know what I mean? I think there's going to be someone in all of these rounds. There's going to be someone in the first 4 rounds that you're like, holy shit, can't pass on that.
So Sonny Styles, I went to one of his basketball games at Pickerton North. Dropped 45, 10 assists, 12 rebounds. Dude was a stud basketball player too.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's got a brother who's a slot cornerback on the Buckeyes.
Kickoff return for a touchdown.
Yeah, he returned a 100-some-yard kickoff return this weekend as well.
It's like our
He
first
actually
one.
He played receiver at Notre Dame originally.
Yeah.
And now he's playing corner here.
Yeah, the Styles are a legendary football. Lorenzo Styles, now Sonny, and so I actually think Sonny's been a little bit more impactful the last couple games than Reese, and in terms of like run game and stuff like that. Like he's cracking down. He's playing way more physical this year than he ever has too. So I'd like to see his development moving from safety. His second year at linebacker, he's going to be a stud in the NFL for sure.
Trying to see this. Bo's saying Chase just got suspended, which is not going to be a shock. I mean, he clearly spit on the guy. Was suspended 1 game by the NFL. Chase spit on Jalen Ramsey, who was ejected on Sunday. So it is official. Jamar Chase is suspended for this game against the Patriots. So thank you, Bo.
Well,
I gotta tell you, not defending Jamar Chase for spitting, but like it wasn't in his face. Like Santori originally was saying, it was right in his face. It was honest. It went to his chest.
I mean, I'm
not defending him for spitting. It's like let's just report it accurate. It wasn't in his face.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So he spit on him, you know. And
I got to tell you, man, being someone that works in psychiatry, where them patients spit at you, spit in the chest, spit in the face, a lot different.
Yeah.
One of them's on my shirt that I can take off. The other one is literally on my face and probably went in my mouth.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the first thoughts I had when he threw that punch and they kept trying to show it. I'm like, it looked like he did something there. Like, I'm like, I bet he spit on him. And then it came out after the game, and I'm like, I knew it. Fucking spit on him.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a camera that catches it.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird though people have tried to put on Twitter that the only camera that caught it was that guy in the stands who actually happened to be a Bengals fan, which is
he's a photographer. He's a photographer for Fox 19. He wasn't in the stands. He was on the sideline, I'm sure, as a photographer.
Okay.
And works for Fox 19 as a photographer. Yeah. And a lot of people are mad at him. It's like, but that's kind of your job, like whether you're videoing.
Well, don't get mad at him. Get mad at Jamar Chase because he fucking spit on a guy like that. Yeah.
And someone would have had it. I've seen other angles. I've seen other angles that have had it too. So, like, let's not bury this guy. Like, he might not even be a Bengals fan. He might just work for Fox 19 anyways. Like, and regardless.
Jamar Chase should in no way get a pass for spitting on another person. That's disgusting.
Yeah, for sure. And
like,
one game suspension.
It's over.
Yep. That's the precedent set by the NFL. Jalen Carter has happened at the beginning of a game, but he didn't even play, basically. You know, it's like before the game started. So they said this serves as his 1-game suspension because he missed the whole game, literally the whole game.
I'm certainly not mad
at
I
think that's fair.
For suspending Jamar Chase. I think he should have got suspended.
Yeah.
You can't do that, man. No matter what someone says to you or whatever they do to you, and especially when you're a professional on that field, you got to not react to it, you know. And to me, I just thought that it showed deeper things because I think to get Jamar Chase out of his character like that bad, I think he chirps a lot on the field, but to get him out of character that bad, where he's going to be like physically aggressive,
he did have that flare up against the refs in Kansas City a couple years
ago. I just feel like it kind of shows like how deep it goes. Is this locker room? The locker room can't be great, you know, and so that projects onto the field. You're already frustrated. You're already starting the game frustrated, and then you got someone like Jalen Ramsey who does talk shit about raping your wife on the goddamn field, you know, is what he was saying to AJ Green. That's what was reported, shit like that, you know. But he tries to get a reaction out of you, and he got it. The only thing is the refs didn't see the fucking spittle, and so he got taken out of the game. But, like, you got to go in there. You got to be professional. You can't react like that.
Well, they were going at it throughout the game.
They were.
And, man, there was some hits, too, that could have been late called hits, different things that those things probably should have been called. At the end of the day, just can't react like that.
No.
Yeah. It's a learning experience, you know.
And also let's all remember when we were, how old is Jamar? 22, 3, 24, something like that. So it's hard to, I mean, come on. I felt the car drunk when I was that age. That's right. We were doing worse shit. I definitely was doing worse shit than Jamar Chase.
Yeah. So the learning experience, we all have them.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to make it a bigger deal or belabor the
No,
point. He was
just move
wrong.
forward. He misses a game.
Well, there's other breaking news I saw when I was looking for that news.
Uh-oh.
Apparently, Virginia Tech is hiring James Franklin.
Ooh.
I
That's a
seen
good
that they were in talks, but yeah, I mean, and he's going to take some recruits, you know.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about that because they lost a lot of recruits. LSU, they didn't basically lose anybody.
They lost one.
Because those recruits did not give two shits about Brian Kelly.
No, but so
Why would
LSU has the number one recruit in the whole nation, and so as soon as we did lose one of them flipped and went to Miami. But as soon as he flipped, I don't know who the guy's name is, the number one recruit in the nation. That's all I know. And
Yeah,
then
I don't know.
he put up a thing on Twitter right away after that guy flipped. He put up a thing on Twitter where he's wearing his LSU gear, but he's from there. He's from there. So a lot of people in Baton Rouge and Louisiana and stuff, man, are fucking hardcore LSU, and that's who they want to play for. That's how we got Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is from there. You know, he wanted to play for LSU.
Well, I think they flipped Jamar from Texas A&M, didn't they? Was it Jamar?
Oh, I don't know originally if they flipped him or not, but like
they flipped him. He was committed somewhere else.
Well, he was a lower star player, and they weren't
Yeah.
interested. When they had, I can't even remember the guy's name. That was the coach wanted him to play cornerback, so that's why he wasn't going to go. And then they fired the coach. It was the one. I didn't like that guy either that you guys had before Orgeron.
I don't know who it was before.
It was Les Miles.
Yeah, Les Miles. Les Miles wanted him to play cornerback and didn't offer him. Once he got fired, then they circled back to Jamar and was like, yeah, we want you to come in here and play offense. You know, because he could have played running back, receiver, whatever. But
that was a good choice for them.
It was Florida. So he was originally committed to Florida. I think it was the coach at the time. Yeah, and then 2017 he flipped from Florida to LSU. So
yeah.
Well, Crip made it funny, and we got to get our Crip funny of the day in. Wait a minute, that's not true about Chase being suspended one game. Goodell just said time served. He plays for the Bengals.
Yeah.
Damn it. I love and hate this.
Right.
That's funny. He has suspended one game. Just FYI, in case anyone's listening to this, don't get the sarcasm, but yeah, for the joke.
I have a question. Would AJ Brown and Jamar Chase trade spots? Because like Jamar's getting the stats, but not the wins, and AJ Brown's not getting the stats, and he's clearly unhappy, but he's getting the wins.
I don't think Jamar would like playing with Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. I don't think a lot of receivers would, honestly. But
yeah,
I don't know, but it's a good question because they just won a Super Bowl. Like they're probably going to be in the mix again to make a run, at least in the playoffs.
Yeah. How much does that serve you in your satisfaction if you win a Super Bowl and you're not putting up stats? I think that tells you a little bit about the mentality of like wide receivers and players generally. I think they want to win the Super Bowl. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, for sure.
You want to get yours too. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, you want to get yours in the process and be part of the reason that you're winning. I mean, it's a little bit of human nature, I guess. You know.
Yeah. So I don't think Jamar's leaving Joe's side, and I don't think Joe's leaving Jamar's side about this whole like demand a trade thing. That's not happening.
Yeah, unless they demand a group trade. T, Jamar, and Joe also.
Yeah, a group
all
trade.
three of us want. I mean, how many picks and players would you have to get to trade for that trio?
3 drafts, 3 entire drafts.
Ricky Williams, like 7 draft first rounds or whatever it was.
Man, fellas, I got to go get ready for work.
Yeah, it's about time to end this one. So
I
appreciate
love
you
y'all.
guys tuning in. Everybody, we will be back on Friday. So
Friday.
we'll talk to you then.